All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Mzwaki Bao TV kawaida, naitwa CPA Wandige, and of course, Sugira is back with us today. We are going to discuss a lot of things related to Islamic and of course, football kidogo. Sugira, the other time you said you are not supporting football, maybe in the World Cup. Which country were you supporting? Because Australia was knocked out after group stages.
So I haven't been watching the World Cup much, but because you see, I'm in marketing. So when you're in marketing and social media, you have to catch on what's trending, what's happening. And the World Cup is happening. I can't deny that.
Yeah, sure.
So I haven't been watching games, but I've just been seeing highlights. I'll just go maybe see, because I don't have time to watch the games. They're also very late, but I see a little bit of highlights.
Yeah.
And now I just had a video that go viral where, last night it came up where, you look at Argentina. Now, as I said, I'm not watching it, but I said, wow, you see how we can find lessons in everything. If you look at the Argentina national team, is there one player with an Arabic name?
I haven't seen Muhammad. I haven't seen a lot of Arabic names. By the way, that's true. They have their own names. Martinez, Messi.
But you look at their first name, Leonor, Laturo. So, again, Spain went and colonized them. Now, Argentinians had indigenous people there. That's why you see Laturo, those Enzo. There's a bit of mix. They don't look white, Cabeza. They don't look Muzungu. Messi, he's white, right? That's a white man. Those are his ancestors from Spain. Some others, they were indigenous people. Now, the indigenous people, I don't know if they had their own names, that land of Argentina, because the Spanish came in, the Spanish came in and colonized quite heavily. Also the Portuguese in Brazil. So you see Brazil, you see where Vinicius Jr., those black players. So in Brazil, those were West Africans. So they brought West Africans there. The Portuguese enslaved them, colonized them. That's why in Brazil you see light-skinned players. Neymar. Why are they light-skinned? Because the Portuguese, the Muzungus, and then there was the West Africans, and also indigenous people. So there was indigenous people, but then they also had brought over West Africans into now Brazil to run the sugar canes, and they were slaves.
So now, who took the West Africans to Argentina?
That's a good question. Oh no, it's to Brazil.
To Brazil.
You see, like if you look at Argentina national team, to Brazil. If you see Argentina national team and Brazil national team, they're in that same region, but they look very different.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't see a Vinicius in Argentina. So yes, there was West Africans that went there. Now I need to do more information of how the West Africans got there. But you look at the dark players, those are West African. And then there's the indigenous people, so you can see that mix, and even some of the West Africans there. So that mix of the West Africans and even the Portuguese, also the indigenous people. So that's why you see those dark, light skin and Muzungus in Brazil. Kaká, white. Why? Portuguese.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing I think happened with Jamaica. They are also in the same region, but now Jamaica is black dominated.
Yeah. So like Jamaica was it's like it was a prison camp. Where like they just brought Jamaica's the same, West Africans, even, they brought those there in Jamaica as well.
It was like where they were taking, how do we call them? I'm forgetting the name. The slaves. So they're taking slaves to Jamaica. Then maybe when the slave thing ended, they stayed there, those who are alive.
Yeah, correct.
Wow. So now, why do you think many countries, they don't have Islamic or Christian names? For good example, you've just mentioned Argentina.
Well, so that's the thing. You see, the Spain colonized Argentina, right? Yeah. Portugal, the Portuguese colonized Brazil. So the reason why you're not going to find majority Arab names, or you're not going to find many Muslims. Of course, there's going to be anomalies, 1 out of 2. Of course, there's everywhere there's colonized people. But it's because the Spanish, the Portuguese, they were colonizers. Why would they take someone else's name? A Spanish person's not going to take an Arabic name. Have you seen the Spain national team? There's not one player who's Muslim or Arabic. There is one, but I mean Spanish. The one that I'm talking about, of course, is the best player. He's Moroccan, which is Arab, and from Guinea, which is Yamal. He's the only one in that Spain team who's Muslim.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
England national team, Harry Kane, Jordan Pickford. In England national team, name me one player who's Muslim. Of course there is, but they're black. There's no Muzungu player. Harry Kane, there's no Muzungu player in England national team who has an Arabic name. Why? England were the colonizers. They were colonizing people. They even tried to colonize the Arabs.
Yes.
Why would an English person take another man's name? They could never. They're so proud of who they are. Why do you think they were colonized? They're conquerors. Why would a conqueror submit to another man?
Wow. They can't submit to another man.
No way. That's why they created their own religions. Look at you see India. They created Buddhism.
Yeah.
Buddhism came from them. They have that belief. They know that they are gods.
Yeah.
We are all gods on this earth. That's what this is all showing you. So everyone created their own gods, like, which is very, very interesting.
Wow.
But yes, there's no man who will let you come in and take their name.
And take their name. Now, why Africa? How did Muslim came to Africa? Now they dominated like everything.
It's a good question. So if you see Africa, right? You see North Africa. You see the World Cup, Algeria, Morocco,
Yes.
Egypt,
Yeah.
Tunisia. Those are North Africa,
Yes.
which is in the continent Africa. So North Africans are Arabs. They invaded Africa.
Okay.
So if you see the Egypt national team, can you find Arab names there?
Egypt. For sure.
I looked when I was looking at the highlights of Egypt, of Australia. I looked at the names. I looked at the names. Every player in Egypt, even there was one dark player there. Every player in Egypt has an Arab name. All of them. It was like Muhammad.
Yeah.
All of them had Arabic names. I didn't see one player in Egypt national team named John
Yeah.
or Laturo. All Arab. So the Arabs, that's why you see Mohammed Salah, he doesn't look like me and you.
Sure,
a lot of people on social media, they try to say, oh, North Africans, they try to use that excuse, but I'm like, wait, the geography, of course, they invaded Africa, so they took over the north. So all Arabs in North Africa. Okay, so that was a powerful thing because Arabs now being in North Africa, it allowed them to move. But here is where it gets interesting, and it all comes down to the one same thing. Everything is a business.
Yes.
Everything is a business. So the way Islam came into Africa was through trade.
Yeah.
So they came through trade to the West Africa, places like Mali, all those, Senegal. So they came through West Africa, even came through East Africa through trade, through business, talking. There wasn't no colonization or slavery. No, it came through business. Now, the way they really dominated was very smart. Do you know how? So because of trade and business, they would go to the leaders, to the kings, to the people who ruled
the countries.
Exactly.
Yes.
People like Mansa Musa. They went to those people, and it's easier to do trade when you convert to Islam. So that's how, it's like being part of an organization, maybe being part of an EU, for example.
Yes.
You see, if we're part of this now EU, trade is easier. We can be, it was gold and all of those things. So it's interesting when you look at even the way the whites came and the Arabs came, it was still our own people who sold us, who gave us up. These people, like, we still gave out, like, the whites didn't just come in and, yes, they came in savagery, but there was our leaders who, go in, all right, bet, like, if it's for a number. That's why we were manipulated. So now when the leader and the kings now say we're taking Islam, yes, we're going to do trade because they're making money for also the country, then it's very easy for now our own people go in and train now the children, train everyone. All right, this is what we're doing, become Muslim. And then so now more of the Arabs came in because it was close. They came in with scholars and people teaching, came in, boom, preaching, because they also knew, this is powerful, this is economics. Mansa Musa then went over to Mecca. That was huge. Where's Mecca? It's not in Africa.
Yes.
It's in Saudi Arabia, where their religion started. So you see that, and then again, when they go to the children, it's game over. Because when you can now get the children in, so it was more, Africans became Muslims a lot because of trade. business, and they went to the kings, to the influencers, to the leaders. If you go to the leaders, everyone will follow them.
No.
And then that's how they now enforce it to the people, because this is how we do business. This is how we make money. I think Mansa Musa was very wealthy.
Yeah. Now, why Africa? They had an option to go to Asia and things like that.
They also did go to Asia. So if you see Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, you see a lot of Muslims there. There's a decent amount of there's Muslims there. Now, I've met many Indonesian people who have Indonesian names.
Yes.
Anjita, things like that. But then there's some Indonesian people who also have Arab names. There's some colonized Indonesian people there.
Yeah.
But then I've met a lot of Indonesians, more than Africans, who have their Indonesian names.
Yeah.
They have their Indonesian names. They have, it's just, there's still a few who will always be colonized, like in every culture. Now with Africa, so you see, that's how they dominated Africa, where we are. And then there's another place, America. And now what happened was, of course, America, we know the story. They took slaves from Africa, took them to America. Now, America is the biggest market in the world.
Yes.
America's, come on, man. America are the big boys. Yeah. So now, because the whites were so savage to the black people and, beating them and, so then it was always seen Christianity as kind of a white man's religion.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Every time, let's say, black people, they get in trouble, they go to jail, they're always wondering, why do I keep doing bad? I've brought up in a Christian home. And there's always someone who recruits them to become Muslim. Yeah. But the way they really dominated was when Muhammad Ali changed he was Cassius Clay, and he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. Okay. That was one of the biggest moves from Islam that changed the whole game. That took Islam across the map. That was a huge win for the Arabs. That was like, if I was Arab, I'd be like, man, what a victory. Because Muhammad Ali, again, remember how they did in Africa? They go to the leaders. Yes. Muhammad Ali went from Cassius Clay and he said, this is my slave name. Then he said, no, call me Muhammad. But he was not thinking that that's another slave name. He's thinking that's my freedom. It's just because the whites were so savage to them and they knew the whites gave them those names. So what's the other alternative that we can find to close to God? Because we know these white guys colonized with this. And then that's when the Arabs, take Islam. So then if we can now get in. And so when they got Muhammad Ali, boom, then that influences so many generations of children. That's like if Lionel Messi right now was to become Muslim. Yeah. If Lionel Messi was to become Muslim today, do you know how many people would convert?
Very big influence.
If
millions of people.
Millions?
Yeah.
Millions of people?
Yeah, we'll follow him for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see, we get the leaders. If Cristiano Ronaldo was named Muhammad, do you know how many people would convert to Islam? If Cristiano Ronaldo became Muslim today, do you know how many people will convert to Islam?
Many people, because at the moment there are a lot of people, a lot of children are called Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. So you see how they get the leaders. That would be a huge win. The Arabs would love that. They would be praying if Messi or Ronaldo was to become a Muslim. They would love that. Why? Because we influence through the influences, through the leaders. Of course, Messi's not going to be named an Arab name because, again, they're the Spanish. A Spanish person will never take an Arab name. Cristiano Ronaldo could never be named an Arabic name because the Portuguese were colonizers. They colonized Brazil. They would never submit to another man's name. That is just ludicrous. There's no man who will submit to another man's name. Especially the conquerors. It's conquerors, it's countries. So it all comes back to economics. So when they got Muhammad Ali from one slave name to another slave name, that influenced Islam and took it to a whole nother level. And that's what we want. If we can get more people to convert, if we can have masses to convert, do you know how much money that brings us?
How much?
So do you know, Mecca generates, you know Mecca? Yeah. It generates $12 to $20 billion a year through religious tourism. Wow. And that's going to keep increasing. If Messi or Ronaldo was to become Muslim and be going to Mecca, that 12 to 20 billion could go to 40 to 100 to 200 billion dollars a year. Like that. So the more people we can get, then of course, and then they're speaking now our language. We have more people on our side because it's a war. It's all conquerors.
Wow. So now, when they came to Africa, you said they are using the leaders. a good example, when now they have Messi or Ronaldo right now, definitely a lot of people are going to follow their leader. Now, there are some countries where leaders refused. No, we can't buy this. But some, we can give you a section of people, or you are free, but not to convert people. Now, in those nations where leaders refused, how are they being treated by Muslims from Mecca?
Well, like, I'm not sure about that, but what I see is still happening today. What do I mean by that? Right now, it's the same way. Even if you look at Arab countries, you look at what happened UAE and Sudan. It's so easy for UAE to come to Sudanese and say, hey, we want those resources, but your government is not giving them to us at the price that we want it, or however. Rebels, where do rebels come from? Fund the rebels. Go, you're the same religion as us, you're Muslim, go in and kill your people, go kill the Christian, go show them a lesson. We need, and then that's how there's now your own people in their own country fighting and killing against each other. So I don't know what would have happened to the leaders, but I just don't know. We must have just been very weak, because if you look at India was also colonized by the British.
Yes.
But Indians have Indian names.
True.
India was colonized also. China was also colonized. As I said, these guys were conquerors. Hong Kong, look at Hong Kong. You'll see some Asian people, Chinese, who have British names still till today. You'll still see some Chinese people, some people from Hong Kong, especially I think Hong Kong, maybe even Singapore. People named Roy, people named John. Like people were colonized. Either you were a colonizer or you were getting colonized. So but you see China still have Chinese names. Majority Chinese have Chinese names. I've been helping people, and if anyone is interested, the link in the description, I've been helping just for some part-time cash. You could do this from anywhere in the world, teaching English to Japanese people. So I'd even taught my cousin, he's 20 years old, and I said, hey, you want a small part-time job? They pay in US dollars. Anyone can do it. Kenya, America, you get $4 per 25-minute session, $9 if they book you. So you're talking to Japanese people. So I started doing it. Just say, I need to make some extra money. They pay in US dollars. I'm here in Kenya. Even if it's a little extra, $15 a day, hey, I'll take that. So anyway, I talk to Japanese people, and I'm teaching them English. Every Japanese person I speak to, Hiroki, they all Tashiya. Japanese people, they all have Japanese names. You will not find one Japanese person with name Muhammad. Japanese people have Japanese names because they were also conquerors. Japan was very strong. Japanese names. And I asked, every time I speak to someone, I teach them English. What does your name mean? Oh, my name means happy. My name is, they all know the meanings. Some don't, but majority they tell me their naming. And now I know Japanese names, they're split in two. It's like some, Thai, like in one word or in one name, there's like a different meanings. There's two different words in the name. Very interesting. So this conversation has just intrigued me. Everywhere I go, I talk to people.
What if they came without an idea, without business mind, like they just came the same way Christianity was introduced to Africa? They just came with the word.
Well, like Christianity came through, and a lot of people say, oh, Christianity was already in Africa. Everyone always says that Christianity was already in Africa. So then why is there no Vatican? Like you see Catholics, for example, they created, the Europeans, Vatican, you see is in where? It's in Rome. It's not in Ethiopia. Okay, Christianity was already in Africa. So why are we the slaves then? Why are we the poorest? Why do I always see the white man's, when you grow up, even in Ethiopia, in Kenya, every time I see a picture of Jesus, it's a white man. If it was in Ethiopia and it started, why wouldn't we have all images of Jesus being a black man? Because it started in our thing. So that's all cap. But the whites were just very powerful. They know how to market. They So anyway, so again, some of our leaders sold. They say, yeah, okay, you can slave them, and then they went in and just now came in with like, all right, boom, some of you are coming to America because of business. So when we're slaving you, we're going to teach them the Bible. And because they saw that our people are very spiritual, that's why you see here, you know, our people are very spiritual. We're very spiritual people naturally. So, and we had our own indigenous beliefs before the Arabs came and before the white man came. Before the Arabs came to do trade and before the white man came, we had our own indigenous beliefs. And even there's a topic, I was speaking to another African lady, Kikuyu. She was telling me there's a Kikuyu story of Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Do you know it?
Okay.
You
I've
don't know
never
this
heard
stuff.
it.
So now maybe you can talk to, when you talk to a Kikuyu person, they have this, the sisters, the mothers. There's a Bible, there's an Adam and Eve story in for Kikuyus.
For their own community.
Yeah, if you see all the women, there's like 8 sisters. Do you know any of this? So in Kikuyu culture, there's 8 sisters who were powerful sisters. There's a story about this. So
The Mumbi.
Yes. There's Mumbi. That's why if you see Mumbi in Jerry, because I was talking to a Kenyan person, this Kikuyu woman, and I said, what? You Kikuyu women, every woman, you guys are so smart. You guys are business Kikuyus. Whoa, they're just so they're sharp. They're very good mind. I said, where does this come from? Why are you guys so smart, intelligent, beautiful? And then she said, and then she told the story of that story, the Mumbis and the sisters. And so we have our own Adam and Eve story for Kikuyu.
Wow.
So I said, we had our own stories like the Bible. We had our own beliefs. We had our own things. So then when they slave you, for example, the whites, they used the Bible and God to get them in line, and you know, we still slave them, but we can get them to do what we want to do. And actually, if we use this more, we can just get more than just money out of this. Of course, money is the main goal, but we control so much more, which has benefited them till today. And same on the Arab side.
Now, from the story of Kikuyu just shared right now, do you think when Islamic came, Christianity came, they erased a lot of our stories?
Yeah, so like Christians, definitely, the whites, they definitely did that. The Arabs, they were just very smart about it. I think if you just market your product very, very well, if you market something again and again and again, you're going to take over. So it's like if we can also bring our scholars, because they brought the trade in, and of course they already submitted to Islam. So they just taught them so much about Islam that I guess they just forgot what their beliefs were. And there were some people who still took their beliefs. If you go to Nigeria, there's still some people who have, you know, Nigerian names. Even I think Sadio Mane. I think Sadio, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Muslim, but maybe the name maybe is African.
It could be a Senegalese name, Sadio. N'Golo Kante. N'Golo, that sounds definitely like an African name. And N'Golo Kante is Muslim. So there were still some Africans who took pride in their names and who said, yeah, we'll become Muslim. Yeah, if we're going to do this for trade, and yes, we believe in this more than our beliefs. Okay, cool. But we still name our children Senegalese names, indigenous names.
Well, how did the African countries dominated by Muslims, survived, or what benefit did they get?
So you see, like Mansa Musa was very wealthy. You know, it was gold and trade. You see, country, you know, also through doing trade with Libya. So I don't know why maybe those countries are not wealthier than they should be. I know a lot of even Islamic states even maybe perhaps control them, or the leaders. They have really that Islamic thing, but you know, I don't know. Maybe if you're still always submitting to another man's belief and name, and if someone else is controlling you, how wealthy can you really become? I don't know. But you look at Australia. You know, Australia's the British came in and just took over. They wiped out the indigenous people. There's still indigenous people there, but they came in to control. So it's actually, they're still British, because I was like, the UK controls Australia.
Sure.
But if I think about it, those Australians, they're all convicts. So they're still all British people. So if you see a white Australian, he's from Scotland. His ancestors are Scottish, British, because the British came, Irish, they came there, took over Australia. And so Australia is a very wealthy country. We're a beautiful country. So, so I don't know, maybe if you're still always under control, or someone's always controlling you, how wealthy can you be? I don't know.
Well. So up to this point, the British are still trying to control the countries they colonized?
I don't know if they're still trying. I just think they're so powerful that yes,
We
they
respect them.
I would say they are still trying because even for them, even though what they've done has been so generational and so smart that we would kill our own, like someone could harm me or kill me because of this for them. So like they have set themselves up in a really good way. The British and the Arabs, as I said, a Muslim person, an Arab person, sorry, an African person who's Muslim would kill his own brother who's maybe a Christian, or who goes against his beliefs, for someone else.
Yes.
But for them, they're at an advantage. So what do I mean? Like you see Rwanda, you know Rwanda?
Yes.
That was a French colony.
True.
So with Rwanda, they were a French colony. My dad grew up speaking French.
Wow.
When he'd watch football, do you know which league they'd watch?
The
but
French
like
league.
but French league, Ligue 1.
Yes,
They would watch the French league. Italian was also big but yes, why? They would watch French because French colony.
Yes.
If you see more today, the British have now dominated. So you see, I was like, wow, that's so interesting how you still always got to be fighting. You still always got to be fighting. The French, were dominating Rwanda for a while, and then the British are good. British, man, they're very good. They, they use people in there, like in the land. My dad talks about this, but yeah, the British are really good. So the British have come in and, pushed France out. If you see now, the language there from Rwanda after our Kinyarwanda is English. When I was there in 2018, I was playing for my national team. The other language is English, not French. French was pushed out. You see French, but French has other in Ivory Coast and da-da-da. So yes, they're always still fighting till today. They're always still fighting, and so that's why if you see in Africa with Christianity, we are more fanatics than them.
Okay.
Mzungus are not much even though they're the ones who are the conquerors, we're more fanatics because if we can teach them this so much and always make them think that someone's coming to save them, we'll always be in control. If you look in African countries, Kenya, everywhere else, we didn't come up with our own vaccine. Do you remember during COVID?
Yes.
Did we come up with a vaccine?
No, we've never come with any vaccine.
We had to go and ask.
We have to go and ask them.
Why couldn't we make our own vaccine? And it's an advantage if we have to keep coming and asking. It's like your mum. Your mum, if you keep coming and asking your mum for money, as she's still like, it's like it's hard. I still kind of own you, bro. It's still hard if you just depend on me, like subconsciously, for any human being, you're gonna feel that.
Yes.
Like, I own you.
For sure. But now, what's blocking us from inventing a lot of things? Yet I heard someone was saying even the medicine Europeans are making, they are taking herbs from Africa, so they are going to manufacture it there. What's preventing us from even manufacturing even Panadol from Africa?
I know it's identity. It's identity, because if we have to keep going to someone else, it makes them more powerful. Right? So again, through our leaders, our ancestors who sold us, now we're left in this position.
Yes.
So I believe that way we can get to that is by knowing who we are, not understanding that no one's coming to save us.
Yes.
Knowing who you are, where you come from, your lineage, and knowing that we are all gods. Because if I know you're a god and I'm a god, why would I want to hurt you? Because you're a god like me. Now there's always going to be violence. There's always going to be, that's life, right? White person kills a white person as well. It happens in Australia, happens everywhere. People, we all, whatever it is, we all have. That's always going to happen. But we can get to inventing just like the way they do in Dubai. Arabs have invented, Chinese, Indians, Americans. Why? It's like we can get there if we know who we are. Because if you see everything that all those places I have in common, all those people have their names.
Yeah.
All those countries I just mentioned, Indians, Australians, even though Australia is a land of just all foreigners, but still the whites who came in there, whoever else, everyone else has their own name, Chinese. So if all of those people have their own name and they're inventing, and we're the only continent who majority don't have our own names, then there must be something that's there that's wrong.
No, maybe it's because our leaders don't support our inventions. The other day, I saw in the news that this little boy who invented a radio station, who doesn't use, like he created everything from scratch. But if that kid can be taken to China, it could be a very big developer. But now in Kenya, it was just on the news and the story is gone.
That's it. You're right. Like if that kid was in America, there'd be people throwing money at them because they know if we can put money into this child, he's gonna make he's gonna make more money. Yeah, we're gonna invest. You see, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook idea. Let's invest in this because look how big Facebook is. Yeah. So, I like that one. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if anything this has to do with identity. As I said, you can still. You can still have your own name and be a fool. You could still have a colonizer's name and still be very smart because you of course your name is your identity. But we all have a brain. We all have a spirit that is God. So God doesn't have a name. God is God. But again, through the name, we understand who we are. As I said, Greek people. I met a successful person the other day. He says, my mom would always tell me what my name meant. My name is Dimi. It's a Greek, that's a Greek militant leader, and my cousin was named Dimi also. So, in terms of the inventions and us investing into each other, I don't know if that interlinks, because I always come and talk about the names and identity, because even me, who I am now, I've always been this great. Even though I used to have a French name, remember Rwanda colonized, so I had a French name, a European name. But if I look at the difference between where I am then and where I am now, is I think now I don't have identity crisis anymore. Like I know who I am, and I still slip up. I still, I'm a people pleaser sometimes. But now I get to a point where I don't care what people think. Who are you? Like I know who I am. I don't know. Understanding my identity, I feel I just don't have an identity crisis anymore. I still go through life. I still go through doubt, and will I make this? Can I do it? Where I doubt myself, where I'm worried, I'm stressed. And even in those moments, I forget that Sugira, you're a God. You see, in the Bible story, when there was a storm that was happening, there was a huge storm. And Jesus was sleeping. And the disciples came in, Jesus, bro, wake up. It's a storm. Are you crazy? And then he said, calm. I think he said something like, don't you have any faith? And then he calmed the storm. I think he even went back to sleep. That's a symbolism in our lives that when the worst is happening to your life, you don't know what you're going to do. You've just lost your job. Finances are hard. You have children. You're just like, how am I going to do this? That's when you should be calm because you are God. Calm down. Now, you can't physically stop a storm. You can't, physically go and put $100,000 into your account. But things are going to come into your pathway because you know who you are, you know where you're going, and opportunities just come. Have you ever sometimes just someone sent you money and you're like, holy shit, and you really needed that money?
Out of nowhere.
Has that happened to you?
It happens. Several times.
Where you get money and maybe you weren't expecting it?
Exactly.
That's happened?
It happens.
How many times has that happened to you?
Several times. They're just chilling. Definitely you need money, but now maybe someone is paying your debt, you owes you. Just a minute you are sorted. Not like, wow, thank you God for that. It happens several times to people. To me, it has happened several times.
And sometimes there's been moments where I've been stressed and I'm like, how am I going to pay that bill? How am I going to pay this? And I've been thinking about and sometimes, and then boom, someone sends me things.
For sure.
And sometimes I even feel like, wow, but it's we are God. So, all we have to do is just focus on what we want, relax, know that we are God, do what you need to do every day. And doing what you need to do every day, your mind's going to tell you what to do. Again, it's hard for people to be consistent and do something and be good at it. You know, so but if your mind tells you that and that's your desire, you can go and do anything that you want to do.
Oh.
And get out of any situation, because your mind, there's no one. A lot of people, when they go through those stressful moments, they pray, and then, you know, they listen to Christian songs and okay, that's great, but like, you know, your mind is going to get you out of it. Okay, if those maybe Christian songs are going to help you feel encouraged and motivated, then that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead. You know, I listen to music too, and my music, there's, you know, the lyrics, you know, but like I have music that motivates me too. So even if someone can listen to Christian, just don't feel that there's something outside of you that's gonna save you. There's nothing outside of you. Those moments when you get that money and you're just like, boom, I know it's hard not to think, but it's like we are gods. So, you know, boom.
Wow.
Like there's no one coming to save you. And the people who are very successful, they know that. They go and work for what they want. They can still pray and speak things into existence. I remember we are gods. In the Bible, let there be light, and there was light. So if I speak something, so sometimes someone might not know, even when they're praying, and they might be thinking someone outside of them is coming to save them. You're praying also with belief and speaking it into existence. In the Bible, there's another verse, and people can look this up. It's in Mark. And you see, I don't know if people read the Bible properly or someone was translated the Bible to you, but even in the Bible, in this Bible that you so love that someone else wrote, it says, when you pray, pray as if you've received it.
Wow.
Do you know how powerful that verse is? When you pray as if you've received it. It's in Mark. Look, someone comment below that Bible verse. In the Bible, it says, when you pray as if you've already received it. Do you know what that means? That means when you walk in a building, you want a deal, know that I've already got this deal.
Wow.
This deal has already come to life. I don't need to go and pray to God and say, God,
I
let's
need
pray.
this.
No, if this is something that I want, it's already done. Even if I don't have it. Even if I don't have $100,000 in my bank account, I have $100,000. I'm going to move with someone who's wealthy. I want to get this real estate deal. There's a deal that I was working on for real estate for one of my clients. You know, we're not hearing back from the landlord. We're hoping we get this place. We pray about it. I didn't go and pray. I said, we're going to get it.
Wow.
Guess what happened? Now I'm meeting with them tomorrow. Chinese, awesome people. Because I said I'm going to get it. In the Bible, it tells you that. Pray as if you've already received it. Don't go beg and no. It's already taken care of. And even me, I still forget that sometimes, because I still worry, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for this? Shit, I got to pay my team, I got to pay my staff. I'm worried. I still worry. But now when I remind myself, it's already done.
Wow. Now, you mentioned something earlier, which I think many youths might be interested. You mentioned you are teaching Japanese. You mentioned Japanese, you are teaching them English. How can they go about it?
Anyone can do it. Anyone, you could even do it if you wanted to. I'll give you the link. So you just go through it. I've been actually helping. So my cousin got it. You know, he's 20 years old. He says, Sugira, you changed my life, bro. Like, this money that I can earn living here at home, like in US dollars, you get paid on the 25th of the 10th. So basically, it's an online tutor program. You got to now pass a few tests. There's a speaking test. As I said, I was there with my cousin. There's a speaking test, and then there's a like grammar test, very easy, and then there's a demo test, which is like it was maybe a little bit easy for me, but that weird, because now you speak to them like one of the tutors, and they pretend to be a student, and you got to now just, it's only like it's a script. They give you everything. It's a learning kit. There's material. You just learn it, and then once you pass, then now it's like Uber. So what I do, for example, I finish my job. I work my job in Australia 5 a.m. till 1 p.m. I finish that, take a break. And then from 2 p.m., 2:30, that's when now it's peak hours in Japan. It's 8 p.m. around that time. So 8, 9 p.m. is where they're coming and learning English. So someone sees your profile. So part of getting the job, you create a profile, you sign a contract. You create a profile, you make a video, say why they should choose you. So say, hey, I'm going to be your teacher, you know. So they see the video, they see where you're from, and then they go into your lesson. You go in and you give someone a great lesson. Some lessons, and this is why you see football, as much as even though I'd stopped watching it because I know so much, there's some people, like I had a Portuguese person who come on and we just talked about football, but he's practicing his English. So we just talked about football. You know, I
But
find
he's practicing his English to see if you can understand him.
yeah, he's at a very good level. There's some people there, they come for work. So I meet a lot of business people. They're from Japan, they're business people, and they just want English because of work. Even a mother, I spoke to a child, and he's 6 years old learning English. So we're talking about football because that's what and then if there's any wrong words or any bad grammar, I'll correct them. And I'll say, hey, when you're talking, you could have said this. So I talk to people, I say, I have a podcast. So yes, any Kenyans can do it. Now, it's a bit easier, I will say, to get the job for native speakers, meaning if you live in Australia, US, South Africa, because their accent, there's something about the South African accent that foreign people love also, and their English is quite good. So South Africans also, it's more of a, they're more, not favored, but they get paid a little bit more. Because Japanese people, they want to also speak to native speakers.
All right.
They want to speak to native speakers. But there's people from Philippines, those Eastern European countries. So that's why I said, wow, so many young Kenyan people, even older Kenyan people can do this. We need to bring this economy. You see how Philippines, so with Kenyans, you just got to be very good. Once you're good, then, you know, I'm even waiting for some results for some Kenyan people. Like I got my fiance's brother. I told them, hey, come and do this. Come, you know. So they boom. We're waiting the results. I helped him go through the training. We'll see what happens. I'll give him a call. You know, so Kenyans can do it. And you see what's cool about it is Japanese people. They're traveling to. What happens is, let's say they're going to Kenya, then they come in and they say, okay, let me speak to someone who's in Kenya so I can understand the local thing. So then they come into your course. So that's why there's opportunity, because there's 1.5 million users on the platform. 1.5 million users
who are willing to learn.
And so a lot of people come in because they're traveling to a specific country. They want to, you know, maybe go and speak to that person. Like someone's traveling to Australia. I've had people come into my class because they're traveling to Australia. That's where I see the opportunity for Kenyans. And as I said, your young Kenyan, US dollars, you can earn 200 to 400 to 500, 600 US dollars on things. So it's also dependent if you're good once you become a tutor and people come into your class. But it requires patience. That's another thing I learned.
Thank you so much. I think we'll get the link from him and tutashare link na nyinyi hapa, at least vijana wapate kazi.
And now more than ever, they get kazi. Yes, our young people now no more relying. We can go. This is how we build our economy.
For sure.
Imagine this is something though, and not many Africans are doing. Those Philippines, you see Philippines, all those countries. So we can do that. So many young kids come. All you need is a laptop, good Wi-Fi, and headphones. You can't pass. So even if you don't have a laptop with headphones. Don't even, maybe come back later because you need laptop, headphones. Even me, I went into an interview, I didn't have my headphones. They kicked me. I said, come back tomorrow and get headphones. So you need laptop, headphones, good Wi-Fi. But you can now earn money at home. You don't need those. In Kenya, it's so hard for young people to earn money, man. Those jobs, it's hard. You know, they're always looking for big qualifications. It's not like Australia. You know, a lot of this job, if I give to Australians, it's hard for them to do because the pay might not be that good for them. But for us, like me, I can earn that money. $4 US. What? That's money I wouldn't earn in that hour. For sure. That 25 minutes. You're getting me, you pay me $4 US to speak. And
25 minutes.
For 25 minutes.
That's a lot of money.
And I'm already doing my things. I'm editing. I told my cousin, I said, bro, you could be playing. He plays Fortnite anyway. So play your Fortnite and then just have your computer, be online, and then of course you just got to be professional. As soon as someone comes into your class, you got to be professional, ready, pause that shit and come into the class. But he's already going to be doing it. Go online because you know it takes time. Sometimes you might not get booked straight away. You might have to. It's like Uber. Where there's Uber drivers. When you start Uber, you're not going to just get. You have to wait until someone orders a ride. Same thing. He could be playing Fortnite, doing something. Then boom, get a call. All right, you know, hey, and get paid for it. You're gonna do that anyway, so might as well get paid. So us guys, we can, let's do it. Get that money.
So guys, if you've watched up to this point, of course you have a job opportunity waiting for you to grab. Okay, so we'll put a link on the description so you can try your luck and see if you can going to get the job. Now, to everyone who is watching today, what can you tell them, bro?
Man, I talked a lot about that, and I touched a lot on that spirituality, that maybe start to think that you're a god.
Oh, yeah.
What about if you started to believe that you're a God? What could you go and accomplish? Because is anything impossible for God? See, people think God is about, oh, can we still bleed? We bleed. No, that's our flesh. But the spirit that we have, even the Bible then tells us we are made in the image of God.
Yeah.
So if you believe that you're a God and you don't have to have fear of someone on the outside of doing bad things, or even sometimes in the bad things that we do, we enjoy.
Yeah.
So, but if you know that you're God, you can do anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
And also when you know that you're God, and then also you know about who you are, you know about the stories of those Mumbis and the tribes that you're from, and what these women did and how they built empires, and how, our grandfathers who had these names and had these meanings, they did this and this. There's a reason why white people, Greeks, Italians, they know the meanings of their names. If you go and speak to some Italian people, he'll tell you, my dad will tell me what my name meant.
Yes.
So, that also can play a part in legacy, because everything I talked about, religion, all this stuff, it's just legacy. Those are people's names. Those people, Lionel Messi, that's someone else's name, someone's grandfather, ancestor who, that was given to someone, right? It's legacy. I saw in New York, Thierry Henry, who has a French name, he's got a street in New York named after him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just saw it. That's legacy. So if you're watching this and you want to create a legacy and be that conqueror, plus knowing that you are a God, and you mix those two together, there's nothing that is stopping you. You want to go get this. Now there's some people here who've been thinking, man, how can I earn money? How can I earn money? And then they see this video, that part where I talked about this Japanese thing, they go apply.
Yeah.
They have money.
Wow. Thank you so much, bro, for today. It's been a very good one. Of course, we have job, and of course, we're also learning about our identity. I think that's, after you've known your identity, now you have a job. It's a good one. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. I've been your host, Mzuka Kibao TV. Naitwa Ndiga Kalambada, and see you next time.